Go live early, throw a little monkey wrench in their plans. Or mine, I guess. Make sure that the live stream clicked on and worked. Go live early, throw a little. There it is. EK, your legs hurt. Well, eat some bananas. I think I've told you that before. Potassium never killed anybody. Today, you guys, it is July 2nd. Pride Month is officially over. The latest news is they want to, the Alphabet Mafia. They are, you can't appease them. They want Pride Month to be Pride Summer. And then Pride, fall, winter, spring, and then Pride year. We're going to just celebrate. First of all, how about you cherish your sexuality? You don't let everybody judge you based off of it. You don't let that define your entire character and character. This video that we're about to react to today, I want to emphasize the word character. Okay. And we're also reacting because it is July and I am patriotic to the Star Spangled Banner as we've never heard it before. This might be interesting because I'm one of those sappy people that cry at the Star Spangled Banner and the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm a boo-hoo, wah-wah, big old mess because I'm an American and I love my country. And it's a shame to see people, the same people, the Alphabet Mafia, detesting America. They won't pledge allegiance to the United States flag, our American flag. Why is that? Because I'm American and I love my. What just happened? That was creepy. Oh, the hunt for my right AirPod is officially over. I found it. It was gone for a week, y'all. Anyways, the Alphabet Mafia wants to make Pride Month a Pride Summer. And I'm going to, dude, stop, man. Stop making this about you. It's not all about you. Quit being so damn selfish. What is the problem? Why can't you just love yourself, who you are, right? Love yourself, accept yourself, and move on. Quit forcing everybody to affirm. Apparently, Dylan Mulvaney's wishes have come true. Our lovely governor to the north, Miss well, I call her Wretched Gretchen. Let's just be real. That's what she is. She's wretched. She has made it a law that if you use the wrong pronouns, I will arrest you. Not only that, you're facing prison time and a fine up to $10,000. So if you look at one person and if you don't pluralize them and call them they, them, then you're going to jail? If you live in Michigan? Sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to go out of my way to be hateful towards people, but I'm not going to play a part of this charade. If I see one of you, I'm going to say, hi, one of you. I'm not going to be like, they, them, because that's, dude, no, I'm not going to play a part in it. Because once you give that woke mob, that Alphabet Mafia, the radical leftoids, as I like to call them, you give them an inch that is never good enough for them. That's never good enough for them. Thank you, Chara 801. Hello, Chura. How did I say it? Chara. Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay. Yeah. Did you see that? Wretched Gretchen Whitmer. Do you guys want to react to the Star Spangled Banner first? Seeing as it, I don't think that veterans should only get one day. I don't. I don't think that we should celebrate mothers one day of the year, fathers, because without mothers or fathers, these leftoids wouldn't be here. And they've seemingly forgotten that. They're all pro-choice, but thankfully their mama chose life. Their mothers were pro-life, so how could they even say that they support? I don't even know, you guys. I can't. They don't make any damn sense. So I have that video, the Star Spangled Banner, and then I also have a video of what are we doing to white people? What are we doing to them? Well, I see a lot of content creators that don't look like me reacting to this, but not a lot of people that do look like me have the balls to put it out there. But if men can say they're women, I could say I have balls. That is it. It is what it is. They're pro stupid. I agree with you on that, Sean. Lake Tahoe. Dude, how was your winter, Dave? My goodness. You guys had one of the largest storms ever. Like, y'all closed Lake Tahoe. I know that because my son was going to go with his rich friends. And guess what happened? They couldn't go, so they went to Florida instead. And oh my God. He packed all of his winter gear, like all of it. Like, I bought him a bunch of snow gear, like awesome snow pants and goggles. And he's like, change of plans, Mom. I got to go to Florida now. We're going to his house, this compound in Florida. And I'm going, dude, just call me when you get there, man. I'll give you my credit card. Oh, actually, I put him on all of my credit cards. That kid has better credit than I do. I shit you not. He's almost got perfect credit because of his mommy. So you're welcome. He's here for the weekend, you guys. Miss Kalia, thank you. I don't like it when they say, aren't you a part of the community just because I'm transsexual? I'm not a part of a groomer society. Anyways, absolutely. There are, despite what people believe, right? Especially you conservatives out there. I have to be the voice of reason here. There are gay, lesbian, and trans people out there that are dead set against the groomer agenda. Just look right there in the comment. Well, right over there. Thank you for your super. I appreciate you, and I appreciate most of all you not being a part of that. Insane. Okay, so which one should we do first? I think we should do the Star Spangled Banner first, and then we're gonna get into, because that way they can't like cancel me. Like they only watch like a few minutes of the streams, right? All right, you guys. Let's do the Star Spangled Banner as we've never heard it before. Now, this is crazy because I've seen so many people react to this, but I've like the thumbnails, but I've never seen the video myself. So let's do it, Patriots. Good morning, everybody.
There was a lawyer once. His name was Francis Scott Key. He penned a song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the national anthem. It is our song as an American. We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story. Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain. Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners. They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange. On the appointed day, in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis. Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo hold full of humanity, men. And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free. He said, tonight I have negotiated successfully your return to the colonies. He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains. As he went back up on board to arrange for their passage to the shore, the admiral came and he said, we have a slight problem. He said, we will still honor our commitment to release these men, but it'll be merely academic after tonight. It won't matter. And Francis Scott Key said, what do you mean? He said, well, Mr. Key, he said, tonight we have laid an ultimatum upon the colonies. Your people will either capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag that you think so much of, or you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry? He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth. He said, how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots. And he said, that's the entire British war fleet. He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over. These men would be free anyway. He said, you can't shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He says, it's predominantly not a military fort. He said, don't worry about it. They said, we've left them a way out. And he said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart? He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately. And we'll know that they've surrendered, and you'll now be under British rule. Francis Scott Key went down below and told the men what was about to happen.
It's going to get real.
And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall, and as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset, suddenly the British war fleet unleashed. He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no reliefs. He said it was absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. And he says from down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is. What have they done with the flag? Is the flag still flying over the rampart? Tell us. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling, every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb. And Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, it's still up. It's not down. The admiral came and he said, your people are insane. He said, what's the matter with them? He said, don't they understand this is an impossible situation? Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before.
Did you hear that? Okay. Now, what's so crazy is I don't think George Washington would have ever realized that all of these years later, these centuries, well, what, a couple centuries later? Not more than a couple. The Christian man would be the mortal enemy. And there would be people willing to stop at nothing to destroy Christianity. And what sucks is there's good morals and values that come with that. Our founding fathers today are rolling over in their graves, looking down on us going, what the hell have you allowed? I'm getting teary-eyed because the Star Spangled Banner is one of the only songs that I could play that will make me cry. We need to get that back. We need to get the love for America back. I can't do it on my own. But at least I have this platform and I can show people how emotionally attached to this country you should be. Because guess what? We could be over in Russia right now where there is no such thing as free speech. And if you were to speak out against, let's say you say F Putin over there, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going away. Either a hard labor camp for about 25 years for just saying F Putin, or they're just going to kill you. Sorry, that's just the way they work. It works over there in those communist countries. The Christianity is being pushed away from Marxism. The good morals, the good values is being pushed away for hedonism.
He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees.
Hold on. He will die on his feet before he will live on his knees. No wonder why they were kneeling at the national anthem. No wonder why. Right then and there. You're cashing those American NFL checks. But how dare you? How dare you kneel down where men and women have died?
Before he'll live on his knees.
I can't stand how
the Admiral said, we have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down. He said, we don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that. But he said, now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point. Francis Scott Key said the barrage was unmerciful. All that he could hear was the men down below praying. The prayer, God, keep that flag flying where we last saw it. Sunrise came. He said there was a heavy mist hanging over the land, but the rampart was tall enough. There stood the flag, completely nondescript, in shreds. The flagpole itself was at a crazy angle, but the flag was still at the top. Francis Scott Key went aboard and immediately went into Fort Henry to see what had happened. And what he'd found had happened was that that flagpole and that flag had suffered repetitious direct hits. And when it had fallen, but men, fathers, who knew what it meant for that flag to be on the ground, although knowing that all of the British guns were trained on it, walked over and held it up humanly until they died. Their bodies were removed and others took their place. Francis Scott Key said what held that flagpole in place at that unusual angle were patriots' bodies. He penned the song, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Or the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star Spangled Banner yet fly and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?" The debt was demanded. The price, it was paid.
Oh, say, can you see?
All right, I'm not going to pause it during our national anthem. I encourage each and every one of you who are a proud American to put your hand over your heart and love the country that you're in and be grateful for this country. You know, we have people coming here from Cuba, right, to escape communism. If you ask any Cuban in Florida how they feel about Marxism and the communism being brought back to here to America, they are staunchly against it. And that is why Florida, that was mostly Democrat, turned red. So please, you guys, please say, just put your hand over your heart if you're grateful for America, because I know I am. And I'm proud of my country. I ain't proud of the history, but we learn from history.
The price, it was paid.
Oh, say, Can you see
I don't even like to sit down.
by the dawn's
Sorry, I'll stand back.
early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets break clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, say, does that Star Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Dear goodness. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And now you guys, if you look at this and you look at where we're at today, everything that's going on, it is an attack on that. How could anybody not be proud to be an American? We are so lucky. We are so lucky that we can say what we want. We can dress how we want. People act like they don't have rights. Yes, you do, but you take them for granted. You take for granted that mostly men have fought and died for that. Women and children have been casualties of war. Everything that they're pushing today is anti American and pro establishment and big government. And it's not okay. I look at my father. No, he wasn't the perfect father, but damn it, he fought and he volunteered. He volunteered to go to Vietnam and do 2 tours. Not 1, 2. Yeah, he absolutely, that is American as they get. He might have had a troubled life, right? Did drugs, whatever the case may be, but I never questioned why, because I know what he saw in Vietnam was nothing short than horrific. Today, look at who the Navy has hired to do recruiting. A drag queen. Are you fucking serious? I mean, if you want to do drag, I don't care. If you're an adult and you want to entertain adults and dance in front of adults, I don't care. I don't. But damn it, are you serious? Our military, what does that tell our enemies? We've given up. We've allowed them to give up and make our country absolute wussies, pansies, wimps. Go ahead and take America. Go ahead. I'm pretty sure that Joe Biden has been paid by the Chinese Communist Party because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about America. And it sucks that I never thought Donald Trump would be a savior, but he is. I don't like the guy. I don't like the things that he said about women. I don't like how misogynistic he is, but he's a New Yorker. I care about his policies. That's what I care about. I care that he actually lost money being the president. I care that he donated his salary, his presidential salary, to human trafficking, to aid human trafficking, to veterans. The veterans, they get one fucking day. And gay people, I love my gay friends, but all of my gay friends say the same damn thing. We don't want a Pride Month because it has become a corporate money-making machine. We need to get back America, Americana, patriotism. We need it back so bad. If we don't get it back, I'm afraid for what the future might hold. Guess what, you guys? Thank you for the super Cedarman Magic. I see your screen name. Thank you. Ask yourself what was it? Ask yourself what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you. This is John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I think that was his quote. Sorry, I paraphrased it there for a second. America is one of the most beautiful countries. We have mountains, we have beaches, we have absolute just gorgeousness. And we have allowed the media, these companies that own the media to separate us. We've allowed politics to separate us. We've allowed them to separate us by race again, despite what happened in the civil rights movement. It has all been erased. And it is pathetic that anybody plays a part in that and doesn't see it for what it is. It is a strategy, and a very deadly one at that. Because if you can divide the nation, what could you do? They're not going to fight they're going to fight amongst each other, not beside one another. I'm telling you guys, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I can feel it that there is something big going to happen. And if we are divided, we are as good as screwed. We're not. We need to get our country back in the world, back into tip-top shape right now, because if we don't, guess what happens? We leave it in the hands of our children and our children's children, and then what kind of future is that? Thank you guys so much. Kirk, thank you. I'm proud of adjectives, not pronouns. God bless America. May we take her with us in our hearts wherever we. Look, you guys, I'm proud of America. I'm not proud of the Americans that are in it that have taken everything for granted and made this country look like the most racist, vile place on earth. I'm sorry, it's not. Psych Monger, thank you. Please play Dan Vest's version of the Star Spangled Banner. It amazes me. He's a Brazilian and more patriotic to Americans. Tom McDonald, one of the most patriotic Americans that is actually Canadian American. It's sad. I love Danny Vest. I think he's awesome. He really is. For all of you veterans, thank you for your service. I humbly appreciate each and every one of you. And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have the freedoms that I do today. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not afraid to say thank you. I'm not afraid to say to a Vietnam veteran every time I see one, welcome home. Absolutely tragic the way things are today. I do have another video, you guys, and this is exactly why and where we are today. We were allowed to get here today because of all of history that we have learned from being erased and eradicated and made to look like a poison when it was supposed to be a learning experience. I can't. I can't even think. I can't even imagine how educators today go into a school knowing that they're about to poison the minds of our youth. Here, say your Pledge of Allegiance to this pride flag, but you're not going to find an American flag in the corner of the room. They get the fuck out. Leave. If you don't like America, you are a free person. Thank you, vets. Thank you, everybody who's serving in the military right now. Thank you for your freedoms, your rights. Now pack up and go. Go on now. Get. Because there are people like me here that appreciate what we have. You know, the people that bitch, moan, and complain about America, right? And they're anti-fascist when they really are. Those are the fascists. These anarchists, right? I guarantee you, if they've had to struggle in their life, they wouldn't absolutely be like that. They would be like, oh, damn. Maybe I don't have it so bad here after all. I mean, I think we should ship them all to Russia. I do. I'm like, let's get them all over to a communist country to see, because they love communism, right? Go on. Go to Russia. Good luck. North Korea. How about North Korea? How about instead of calling Donald Trump a dictator, you go see what a dictator really looks like? Nah, I don't want to do that, do ya? Yeah, because you talked all that talk, but come to walk the walk, you fizzle out. Those are the least patriotic, the least brave, the biggest forms of human excrement that I've ever seen in human form. A waste of oxygen. And QIFA, BLM, these organizations that were meant to divide us. Well, let's see how far we have gotten. Let's see where we are at today. This video is called What Are We Doing to White People? And it is by a young man. Now he's a millennial, I think. His name is Charlie Chien. So, Charlie, let's see what we got.
Let's talk about what we're doing to white people.
Mom
There's been
vibes.
something going on for a while now.
That's me.
That we're being told not to notice. More to the point, that we're asking white people not only to ignore, but to accept. The rising tide of racial hatred against white people. In the past decade, there has been a noticeable cultural shift in what constitutes acceptable speech as it relates to white people. Back when I was a kid, in the early 2000s, the mainstream American culture preached about respecting each other's differences and not seeing color.
Right there. Now, this child, right? I say child because he was born in the early 2000s when I was like 20, right? He gives me hope that not all children have been radicalized and poisoned. You send your kid to college and they're coming back fucked up. In the early 2000s, we did preach to see, not see color, not see differences. It was before that, though, kiddo. It was the civil rights movement when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, please judge based off of the content of somebody's character, not the color of their skin. And ever since then, it's all been undone. So this kid gives me faith in humanity again. Thank you, Vic. Increase my mic levels on whose? His or mine? Let me see. It's not me. It's the video, actually.
Nowadays, we say that not seeing color is racism, that you must see color. But the more I see how things are unfolding, the more I'm convinced that this is wrong.
It's
Back
on
then,
his video.
saying something
I'm all the way
offhanded
up.
about white people were seen as not appropriate, just as it would be to say something
captions.
offhanded about people of any other race. But that soon gave way to our current times, in which there exists virtually no limit to what racial minorities can and do say about white people. I believe this is the natural outgrowth of a perverse ideology that teaches us that everything, every societal ill, is the fault of white people, and that whatever prejudice acts we may inflict upon them does not constitute discrimination because we don't have the power to discriminate. And alarmingly, this is particularly pronounced in the younger generation. But is it true? Do we not have the power to discriminate?
Okay, everybody does. Everybody does. I'm sorry, you guys. I have it up as loud as I can. My OBS studios, it's as loud as it gets. I'm at the tip. I'm at like 100. So I will blow it up so you can read the captions. Everybody in this world has a power to discriminate. You can be prejudiced if you learn that. That is learned behavior. That is not, well, I can't even say that it's not taught in schools anymore because we see a plethora of videos of kids feeling less than because the white man has been looked at like the devil. Let's blame the white man for all of our failures. You know, it's so much easier to blame somebody else for your failures or your shortcomings than to own up and say, well, shit, I didn't work as hard as I should have. So everybody has that power to be discriminatory. You can be prejudiced, but what society today teaches us is that you can't discriminate against or be racist against somebody that looks like me. Caucasian is a race. All right, back to this. Sorry about the volume, y'all.
Well, let's see. First, let's take a look at the racial hatred at the interpersonal level. In today's society, it has become somewhat fashionable to think things and say things about and to white people that would not be acceptable if it was said about any other race. And we're being taught that this double standard is not wrong, that it is rather a form of empowerment. They'll attribute negative experiences that they've had with white people to their whiteness.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me get this straight. So it's empowerment to shit on somebody else, to be racist towards somebody else? That's empowerment? No, definitely not. That's not how you do things. You never step on somebody or over somebody to get where you need to go and call that empowerment. I would hate to be living in that person's shoes to say, well, if I crap on somebody else, that makes me feel better about myself. Now, if someone were to, let's say, be an asshole to me, you got it coming. I got every right to give it back to you. I don't care what you look like. And I was saying in my video, statistically, more people who look like me have mistreated me, but I'm not going to hate every white male because of the misdeeds and the effed up personas of a couple. Doesn't make sense. But I can't. Society, these people are crazy. I'm just going to say it like that. Y'all crazy if you think that's called empowerment. It's called abuse.
You had an argument in line at the grocery store with a white person? They were acting entitled because they were white. A white driver cut you off when you were driving? They need to check their white privilege.
Or what about the weaponizing of her white tears? The City Bike Karen incident. That was terrible. That shows exactly we have not had any improvements, only it's getting worse. Bullshit. I call it bull pucky.
Your actions, your conduct, and your existence, in other words, boil down to your whiteness. And ashamedly, at one point in time, this was how I used to think as well. And beyond the people in my circle, I noticed that many people of color have this sort of blasé attitude, an attitude most particularly pronounced when there are no other white people around. Things are being said not just behind closed doors, but out in the open. Yep. Not just between close friends, but between complete strangers. So here's the thing. This is something that I've experienced countless times, so I know that there are other people who are experiencing it too. I know it must resonate with at least some of you.
Let's hope and pray.
The difficulty here is that no matter how many anecdotes I share, they are just that, anecdotes. And people who refuse to believe that this is happening will just chalk it up to my experiences being a fluke. Or worse yet, they'll say I'm lying. So I've compiled some TikTok videos. I want you to take a look at the things that are being said about white people, especially by the younger generation.
Hang on a second. Hang on, Charlie. Look, I was permanently banned off of TikTok for asking a valid question as to why are you a drag queen in a church and not a mosque or a synagogue? Why do you feel the need to perform in front of children? What's the need to expose children to drag queens? They permanently banned my account. But some of these TikToks that I have saw with my own eyes, I've brought this up many moons ago. Like, why is it okay and acceptable to shit on white people on TikTok? Why is that okay? But if, look, the shoe is on the other foot, oh, you'd be canceled in a heartbeat. It's pathetic, it's wrong, and it's racism. And racism, no matter who it's directed at, is just that. You just because you are being racist towards a person of whiteness does not mean that that's not racism. That is literally in the freaking dictionary to be prejudiced against somebody because of the color of their skin. Which I don't understand because how many of us here raise your hand and I'll give you $1,000 right now if you could have picked your parents and who you look and what you look like, what your ethnicity is, what your nationality is, where you were born. If you could pick that, I will give you $1,000 right now. Oh, wait, we couldn't? Oh, well, damn. There goes judging somebody based off the content of their character. Then, let's just, it doesn't make any sense to, but there are people, again, who are proud. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm brown and I'm proud. And it's like, you didn't do anything for that. You're lazy as hell. And you have no other goals or dreams that you could achieve because you're literally proud of something you had no control over or played no part in. Dumb. Dumb as dog shit. All right, back to Charlie here. Here's some of the TikToks that, again, shoe on other foot does not exist.
The kind of statements people wouldn't dare say about people of any other race. Take a look at what is stunningly in vogue in today's society and ask yourselves, where does this lead to years down the line?
You have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color. You need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend.
Excuse me. These people that talk like this, people of color. Do you understand that's another democratic slur? People of color? Do you think I call my friends and say, no matter what they look like, do you think I call, hey, friend of color, how you doing today, colored friend? It's just another term for colored people. That is a democratic plantation word. People of color. Shut the fuck up. Shut up and quit judging people based off of the color of their skin instead of if they're a shitty person or if they're a good person. How have we gotten here? And how the hell do we get back is the question I want to know. Because I can't do it by myself. I can't. Now, I don't care what color you look like. You treat me like shit, you got something coming. Just so I've never been treated badly by anybody else, by black people. I've been treated bad by my own people. But I don't judge every white person, just those asshats.
Like, don't just bring them with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person.
Accomplices ask, how can they support Black and Indigenous people of color? And sometimes I really don't know what to say, but here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
Women can single-handedly cause the white genocide that they are so afraid of. With 2.25 billion Asian women and 500 million white men, baby, it'll only take 2 generations. In 2 generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired...
These are some things I know.
Are they literally calling for the destruction of people that are blonde-haired and blue-eyed? I mean, I have contacts in, and this shit is brown, so... Sorry, I don't fit into that criteria. This is like total bleach, y'all. And contact lenses, yeah, definitely. Actually, my eyes are hazel. They change different colors. They're like greenish brown. Imagine if a white person came on TikTok and said, well, there's so many billions of white people and there's so many billions of Asian people, we just need to screw each other and get rid of the black race. If that was said on TikTok, holy cannolis, that you'd be like, not only would your account be permanently banned, but you would be doxxed. Your life would be ruined. You would be on every media outlet. You would literally have your house burnt down. You'd be called a Nazi, a fascist. Yeah, you and all of your generation, your future generations would be doomed until all eternity. But people like this could say, I pray like hell that you never get into a bad accident where you need to be medically, there needs to be medical intervention, and you get a white surgeon. If you feel that way, then what are you going to do? Well, I don't care. Look, if I'm in danger, listen, I'm going to put it out there right now. If I'm in danger, I don't care what the hell you look like. Help me. Fucking society today would be like this. Oh, world star, motherfucker. My Lord.
In 2 generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired.
These are some things I noticed about white American culture. Being grounded is a punishment to them. That's what they call punishment. The least grounded, least balanced, most destructive race considers being grounded a punishment? Yeah.
Why you focused on race in the first place? Nobody had any control over that. And why is 2,500 people, nearly 2,500 people liking this moron's video? You might as well just plaster a swastika on your forehead. Go on, do it. Go ahead, wear a little cone hat, a white sheet and a coned hat. Go ahead. Go ahead, do it. I can't even believe people entertain this. Like, literally. Like, what are you even talking? Why are you putting all of white people into that basket? If you hate, and then they don't even say it openly. They do these sly ass, under the rug remarks, whereas, why don't you just say it? Be real. If you're going to be racist, just be real about it then. Oh, but you can't be racist against white people. That's what people literally say. I'm over here going, oi, oi, oi. This society is doomed. We're doomed. And this girl here, man, absolute racist. 100%.
They also say really violent phrases. They say things like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why do we have to kill the birds? Why?
What the fuck? Are you serious, bitch? That's called multitasking. Okay? Multitasking. Oh my God.
Why is everything so violent? It's almost like one's language and phrases reflects one's nature.
So that new
this one.
Jeffrey,
This chick. One of the most racist people on TikTok, and she's allowed to say whatever she wants to because the TikTok is owned by the Chinese Communist Party, and they're a bunch of fascist Marxist asshats. Yes. Wait till you hear what this one says. I saw this video before, and it is like, I think her braids are a little too tight or something happened. Maybe, just maybe, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and this is what she learned in her household, which is really sad. Really sad. This bitch. The Jeffrey Dahmer. Let's listen to what she has to say.
One's nature.
Might lose a couple brain cells in the process.
So that new Jeffrey Dahmer movie on Netflix is the perfect example of the sensationalization of white violence. People have a much easier time sympathizing with white criminals than they do with black victims. People think these shows are harmless, but they actually contribute to a much bigger issue.
I'm pretty sure that there's been black serial killers. Either you gonna kill people or you're not. If you kill people, you're probably a bad person. It doesn't, no, definitely. No, you are. You are a bad person if you kill people. I'm just saying. But I guarantee you, in her neighborhood, there's innocent children that die all of the time from gun violence, and she says not a nothing about it. Or the 500,000 black babies that were killed at abortion clinics last year. Per year. 500,000 people. But I guarantee you, she has got Planned Parenthood all over her profile. because you support Margaret Sanger and her evil genocide of the black people. Yeah, I'll make no sense. Jesus Pace, man. I grew up in Cleveland, you guys. This was never a thing. I'm so grateful for my family to not teach me to hate. Disgusting.
Actually contribute to a much bigger issue. It contributes to the viewpoint that white people are less violent than everyone else, and white violence is something to be consumed in media, and that's it.
What is with Caucasian people and like their inability to like read a fucking room? Like, y'all act like you don't understand shit. Because
yeah, you're appropriating the race by wearing those blue contacts. Why are you appropriating? Why are you appropriating the white Caucasian people with those blue contacts? Why are you doing that? Huh? What the piercing right there? That's white. That's white people culture. Why are you doing that? Oh, I can't call that. Oh, I can't say that. Oh, don't worry. My son even said it. Mommy, you're not white. You're tan. That's right. Don't forget it.
Because y'all be the first ones during a conversation about the Holocaust to get so mad when black people be like, you do realize that the original Jewish people were black, right? White people do not need to explain to anybody about us all bleeding red because, baby, you all are the people that need to learn that lesson. Clearly, history shows that you all are the people that like to pillage and eradicate, enslave, and oppress.
Does she realize one of the first slave owners was black? Does she realize that? There's no such thing as white privilege in this country. It's power privilege. It's political privilege. It's wealth privilege. Yeah, there were black slave owners. Does she not realize that? How did the Europeans get black slaves? How did that happen? Does she not realize that it was the African people that, they're just trying to survive, so they kidnapped their own people and sold them into slavery for things like gold and grains and rugs and all kinds of shit that they needed to survive? But she does not realize that there were white people who were slaves too? Shut the these people need to open the history book. Open the history book and read it for once. Jesus Pete's. This is that victimhood mentality, right? The white man is this giant oppressor. I'm pretty sure if you look at history, you could see that there were black slave owners. Dumb dummy. Oh my God, man, people are so dumb. They're dumb. This generation is fucked. Thank you for the Tide Pods, because the Tide Pod Challenge has fried y'all's brain.
Attempt to suppress greatness because you all simply don't have it.
Right? Here go y'all cum goblins who don't even live in the fucking city. Which, by the way,
what the fuck did she just say? Did she just say cum goblins? Cum goblins. What is that? Ew, gross.
Have it.
Right? Here go y'all cum goblins who don't even live in the fucking city. Which, by the way, the Q-tip people are the last ones to ever talk about somebody stealing anything.
Q-tip people. Q-tip people. Q-tip people. Q-tip people. Now, I've heard of people being called a lollipop before because their body's like really skinny and their heads are really big, but Q-tip people? I ain't never seen anybody that white except in the movie Powder. You remember that movie Powder? What the fuck? Q-tip people. Cum goblins. Bunch of bukkake cum goblins. Yeah.
Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it. So y'all are more. Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it.
Stealing it. Yes, Al Sharpton Jr. Go on now, get it.
So y'all are more focused on people looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes,
wait a minute. Let me find out. Those people looting and rioting, Nike shoes and televisions, that was out of necessity or was it out of opportunity? Pretty sure it was opportunity. The opportunity presented itself. No, they were not looting and rioting based off of necessity. Nothing says I need to survive like a new pair of Air Force Ones. Shut up.
Stealing it.
This makes me sad that people like this even have the power to vote.
So y'all are more focused on people looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes, a TV is a fucking necessity. Thank you.
Shut the fuck.
Feel like you're better than because people are out here stealing and you would never. First of all, if you are a Mayo monster, that is how your ancestors got everything from stealing. People.
Sorry, not my ancestors, sweetheart. No, in fact, my ancestors were enslaved themselves. Yeah, my ancestors fled Italy because of Mussolini. Yeah, they were like, we don't want to be Nazis, man. And if you didn't, then they would kill you. So they left and came over here to America, the big melting pot. They wanted to be free of a tyrannical dictator, but did they even consider that some odd years later that we would be in a tyrannical dictatorship as we are today? Well, shit. The Mayo people, barf, shut up. You think you're better than because you're not the one stealing and looting and right. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I pay for my shit. I don't steal everything that isn't nailed down. I don't care what color you are. If you play part in that, I wish a mother effer would. I wish I was a store owner. I don't care what you look like. If you're stealing my shit, I'm going to use you as target practice. Pew, 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 pew. Maybe then, just maybe then, we would not have this all kinds of chaos and anarchy. I'm just saying. But California, we got California. Remember this, you guys. When 2024 rolls around and Gavin Newsom is running for president, he's the one that said, small businesses, I don't care if you get robbed blind. We're not going to arrest the people shoplifting from you because they deserve it too. Get the fuck out of here. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my. You see this again. These people have the power to vote, which scares the living shit out of me. Because they're the ones who vote these Democrats in that keep allowing this to go on. Heck.
Are a Mayo monster. That is how your ancestors got everything from stealing. People are.
And that's a behavior that's very common among white women.
You got popcorn kernels stuck in your throat? Do you?
From stealing. People are.
And that's a behavior that's very common among white women.
Why you blonde then? Why are you blonde and why you got eyelashes and why are you trying to make your beautiful almond Asian eyes not look Asian? Why you appropriating? Why? There ain't no blonde Asians anywhere. Yeah, you should try. She must have been raised around some Hasidic Jews. We got some challah bread. Get out of here, man. Shut up. Shut up. I'd like to find her in an alley one day and just punch you right in the face.
You may have not intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you.
What about why you get lip fillers? I point because I do. I get lip fillers. I don't care. I don't want thin lips. I don't want those. I like them big and juicy and plumped up. But you're literally putting fillers in your face and dyeing your hair blonde. And here you are on TikTok where it is allowed to say that. What are you sounding like you got popcorn kernels stuck in your throat? Sound like cracked out Donald Duck. She's open. Can't even.
Intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you.
If you can find it in your heart this holiday season to donate to the Discriminated White Fund, you'd be helping millions.
Nothing says high protein like cicadas and cheese. Make sure you...
And nothing says caucasity like that right there.
Now, he was a handsome guy. Did you guys see that? I'm very sad that he literally said that because, like, dude, I'd give you the run for your money. I would.
Make sure you...
And nothing says caucasity like that right there.
What caucasity looks like. Roaming Asian grocery stores like it's an amusement park.
Explain to me why white people don't wear shoes outdoor, but wear shoes inside.
We are both white women. We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color.
Stop saying people of color. Just go on. Stop. Just stop. People of color. Again, the Democratic plantation is where you still reside. I can't stand that when a white knight liberal does that. White guilt. Just put it on your head. I am not going to ever feel guilty, nor am I ever going to apologize for something that I didn't do or had any control over. Do you see people apologizing for the sun coming up every day? No, because we don't have any control over that. Does that make sense? I mean, because, like, seriously, I will never apologize for being born. Now, if I treated you badly, then I will apologize for that. Sorry I called you a dickhead, but you were acting like a dickhead. That's the only time I'm going to call you a dickhead, when you act like one. These people are nuts. They're nuts. They have absolutely gone batshit crazy. We need to make mental institutions a thing again. Godless people. You ain't lying. These people are pure devils.
Simply by existing.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism. That is a true threat and the terrorism to this country.
If BIPOC stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, I hate all white people, I want all white people to go die, die white devil, you cracker bitch, that's still not racism.
What? What the fuck did she just say? Die all white people, you cracker bitch. Whenever you bring up race and you are mean towards somebody because of the color of their skin, that is racism. Let me correct this white guilt having a radical liberal of TikTok. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I would hate to be in your household. She's definitely got pronouns next to her bio. 100%. We gotta play that one again because this bitch is dumb as dog shit. I'm just gonna say it like that. There's no way. Listen, Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok reposted her. Thank you, Chaya. This kid is just beyond help. Like, shut up, dude. You called me cis. That means to tell your hard drive needs checked. Cause you on that pedosexual shit. I know it.
Country.
If BIPOC stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, I hate all white people, I want all white people to go die, die white devil, you cracker bitch, that's still not racism.
You're
Now, so if you were to say, put the, like, let's say Mexican, Asian, Hispanic, not Hispanic, whatever, Black, you put that in there instead of white, is it racism? I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I'm not pretty sure. I am certain it is. I can't even. These people vote. Remember that, y'all. They vote.
not one of the good white people. Stop separating us from the bad white people. Don't sit out there in comments and say, we don't claim them. We are them. We are the ones shooting up schools. We are the ones raping people, the ones enslaving people.
And I'll say it. I hate being white. Which means I'm one of the good ones.
All white people are inherently racist.
Yes.
Can you be racist against white people?
Based off of the definition of racism, yes, but it's not gonna hurt them and hurt their opportunities like it does people of color.
While technically you can, it's not like an issue.
You can't oppress the oppressor.
It helps you sleep at night. I'm racist to white people and I'm proud of it.
I define. You want to be racist towards me? Let's meet in an alleyway somewhere. Go on then. And what would really make me mad is if you were to say something like that in front of my child, because he doesn't learn that type of shit. And if he hears it from anybody else, I'm going to punch you right in the mouth. Sorry, not sorry. You know, I feel terrible because there are people literally allowed to say this on TikTok and they don't get banned. But don't you dare ask a drag queen if they're going to go instead of a church to a synagogue or a mosque. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because then you're permanently banned. My God, man. Where the hell? How did we get here? How? Well, you know, it started with Barack Obama. Thank you, Obama, for dividing everybody.
Why do people not understand that you can't be racist to white people? It's impossible. The system is not set up that way. You can insult white people, but it is not racism. Me calling a white person a tub of mayonnaise and like a flower looking ass, that's not racist.
You went all the way to Africa to physically take black people.
No, we didn't. I can't speak for that because my grandparents migrated here from Italy, so I can't speak on that. But no, the white man actually freed the slaves. Yeah, that's the Europeans did that. Thanks, white people. Thank you for ending slavery. Abraham Lincoln, ring a bell? Does he ring a bell? Because he's the man that abolished slavery. Huh. Pretty sure it's in our Constitution, too. Damn it. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you. People give no hope for society. I think we should take anybody and everybody who thinks like this and ship them off to a communist country. Yeah, yeah. Kim Jong-un would love you.
From their homes, shoved them in on boats where a lot of them got diseases and died, told them where they could sit on a bus, told them which schools they could go to, which water fountains they could use, which bathrooms they could use, and that's sugarcoating it. Those are just terms. I'm not even describing all the disgusting things that happen, and they don't even want revenge? They are letting you guys skate by asking for equal rights?
I'm pretty sure they are asking for reparations for something that had absolutely nothing to do with them. Those are those people that are so stuck in the past and have that victimhood mentality and do not mind being a slave to big government. It's like, dude, I ain't taking not one handout from the government. Fuck you. No, thank you. You ain't owning a piece of me. Sorry, not sorry. Please stop with this victimhood mentality shit, man. There is nobody today on this planet that had anything to do with slavery that was 150, because I'm pretty sure nobody is over 150 years old, you dipshits.
That's it? And you're still saying no? They are not as angry as they should be. Y'all are getting off easy, and you're still saying no? Fuck you.
Some people look at that
No, fuck you.
and chalk it up to the grumblings of the powerless. That's the idea that when you have a power disparity, the less powerful sort of has this general society given leeway to complain about the more powerful. The villagers complaining about their king doesn't have the same ring as the king making snide and crude comments about the villagers. But that's not what's going on here. Because although certain segments of our society refuse to believe this, even as evidence mount before our very eyes, in one side of the political aisle, people of color actually have greater power than white people. That is the truth that is not being acknowledged by the people that need to hear it, because this gets in the way of them wielding that power in the way they want. Malignantly. I've heard from somewhere that politics is downstream of culture, and I think that is certainly correct. We have a mainstream culture that tells us it's okay to hold prejudice and hateful view of white people, and our politics is then infused with this energy, and we see active, overt, and on the books racial discrimination of white people that those who are perpetuating this hatred is refusing to see as discrimination. They'll say, no, this is remediation.
Okay.
These are the same people who are making tenuous arguments that some of our race-neutral laws discriminate against people of color. And this is certainly evidence that in one side of the political aisle, people of color have more power than white people.
Well, you know, a lot of people today are very angry that affirmative action was ruled as unconstitutional and very racist. Clarence Thomas is getting like the business right now. Oh my, the liberals are pissed. End racism. And then they end a very racist affirmative action is very racist. And so they're bitching. Well, not that racism. This racism over here. Help. I'm over here going, help me, Jesus, please. Help them see the light. They won't. They're stupid. Wait, so if racism is bad, then shouldn't it all be bad? Of course it is. To hate somebody based off of the color of their skin is very bad. Say it with me. Racism is very bad. No matter who it's aimed at. Dumb dummies. What the hell is wrong with these liberals? What is wrong with y'all? Please. What can you need to, were you shaking as a baby? Do you need me to give you shaken baby syndrome to wake you up? Pretty sure you would benefit from that saying. Liberals are the worst. White liberals are the worst. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it anymore. You white liberals are the demise of America.
Because if we didn't have the power,
Damn
we
white
wouldn't be
people.
able to put into place practices and policies that does this. That's what power is. Things like Minneapolis local government agreeing to a contract with the teachers union that says white teachers must be fired first.
Wait,
New York
what?
City's government enacting a policy of having white seniors go to the back of the line on life-saving COVID treatment. A college professor that says white people should be killed and facing no repercussions.
Do you remember that lady? Rutgers University fails to condemn tenured professor who said, we've got to take these mother effers out. About white people. Holy shit. He's right. He's right. Oh my God. I didn't even know, man. This is fury as Minneapolis Teachers Union negotiates clause requiring white educators to be laid off first, regardless of seniority, to make up for the past discriminations. What the fuck? Why are you living in the past? You're just be living in the present so that we can prepare for a better future, because I'm pretty sure what was done 2 minutes ago, we can't control that. So let's just focus on that bullshit she said 2 minutes ago, because I can't do it. I can't live in the present. I can't look towards the future because the past. Shut up. My past ain't so pretty, but it's made me who I am today. I'm going to own it. I don't care. People, you should see the shit people say about me. Think I give a shit? The only reason why you know is because I told you. So you're going to use it against me? I don't care. I don't care. It's made me who I am today, and I am not ashamed of that one bit. All right, back to this bullshit.
A college professor that says white people should be killed and facing no repercussions. Cornell University banning white people from rock climbing lessons. One of many instances of liberal colleges doing the utmost to exclude and ostracize white students. BIPOC-only events equal no whites, but they don't have the guts to say that, even though that is what that is. That's what makes us different than the mere grumblings of the common villager. The villagers have surrounded the palace, demanding Marie Antoinette's head. The power dynamics have shifted.
Baby.
That is a fact. Progressive media outlets do not cover these stories. Some people out there have no idea that this is going on. But worse, some others out there know but agree with what's going on. And for those people to convince themselves that this is not racial discrimination, they play mind tricks and word games. They use phrases and talking points like punching up. You can't be racist to white people. You can't oppress the oppressor, meaning I'm acting oppressively, but I've designated you as the oppressor, so everything goes. Or Ibram X. Kendi's infamous words, the only way to remedy past discrimination is current discrimination. Or when people say things like, what we're doing to white people is not racism, because racism is prejudice plus power, and we don't have the power.
All right, so listen, according to the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, these people are stupid. According to the ADL, racism can be defined as the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. Bitch, go look at Webster's definition. It hasn't changed. Oh, wait, it might have. Actually, I think there was a black professor that has actually asked for the definition to be changed of racism in the dictionary to actually be like this. Can't be racist towards white people. Really sad, because there was even in Denver, Colorado, there were a parent-teacher conference or something in a school where no whites allowed. I can't. I can't. Look, man, I've been done dirty by some white guys, okay? I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to collectively say I hate them all because of these couple of them that were just jerks. I can't do that. I cannot do that because that would be stupid. That would be the victimhood mentality that you just keep up with. Well, the white man's this big oppressor. Why you First of all, nobody's going to tell me that I can't based off of the color of my skin. Sorry, not sorry. I had no control over that. You should be judging me how I treat you, right? I don't care if you're black, if you're white, if you come up behind me and if you punch me in the back of the head, I'm pretty sure before I turn around, I'm going to say, that asshole. I don't care what you look like. My God, man, this is fucked up. This is so messed up that even that white privilege. Shut up, Colin Kaepernick. You literally meet the definition of white privilege. You grew up in a very wealthy white home. It's not white privilege, wealth privilege. Just say it like it is instead of blaming white privilege, white privilege. Shut up. Just shut up. You look stupid. Whenever I see or hear white privilege, I'm like, look, here we go again. Radical liberals, y'all done screwed up this country. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Y'all done did it. I'm going to blame it. I'm going to be racist. I can't be racist. It's the white liberals. This makes no damn sense. Oh my God.
They use all this mind-bending apparatus to delude themselves into believing
I gotta do that again.
we don't have the power. They use all this mind-bending apparatus to delude themselves into believing what they're doing faces no moral quandary. But in the back of their minds, perhaps in their subconscious minds, is racial revenge. We experienced it. You experienced it too.
I think he's right.
That people of color are using our newfound power to act this way and then pretend like none of this is going on leads me to believe that we would have done the same thing that white people did were we to be in their historical position. Because such acts have its roots in human nature, not white people nature. And one can only imagine what might happen in the coming decades when the demographics of the US will have shifted such that white people will no longer constitute the majority, when the younger generation you've just seen have graduated from elite schools and hold positions of power in our institutions, our government, corporations, entertainment, news media, and so forth, how they might, in wielding the levers of society, be able to rationalize, using their adult brain, the hatred that was embedded in their minds during their adolescence.
That's sad, man.
What we're seeing is just the beginning. To the white people who are watching, I just want to say, you are not an oppressor for refusing to accept an ideology that teaches people to hate you, that teaches you that you are inherently bad, that your children are inherently bad, that you are inherently racist no matter what you do or how you think, that you need to repent by taking affirmative steps in your life to redress harms that your ancestors may have done, or the racist actions of other white people. In fact,
here, look at this. Exactly what he just said. I am not going to apologize for the actions of somebody else. I didn't do it, so what the hell do you want me to apologize for? On the Black Lives Matter website, they had these demands for white people. You are to leave your inheritance to a person of color. That's what they said. You also have to leave your home, screw your kids, to a person of color. You have to bow down and kiss the feet of persons of color. These demands were ludicrous. I'm over here going, I'm going to pull them up after this video. And when you see these demands that these Marxist, man-hating lesbians, Jesse Lee Peterson, that's what he called BLM. It was started by Marxist, what did he say? Marxist, man-hating lesbians. It was the funniest shit ever. I about fell out of my chair. When you see the list of demands, you're going to be like, what the hell? No. Sorry. If I leave anything, it's going to be to my children. Whatever the hell they do with it, I don't care because I'll be dead. As long as they raise the tortoises. That's all I care about. All I care about. Fucking oppressor. Get out of here, man. I don't oppress anybody.
In fact, you are not an oppressor. Period.
God, thank you.
You did not choose to be born white. Just like any of us did not choose to be born in our race.
We can't control that.
And to ask of you, at the individual level, for example, to give your life in service of people of color, to be used as physical barriers at protests, to give away your house to black people instead of your children, all actual things that have been publicly demanded of white people.
Told you!
To ask this of you is morally reprehensible collective punishment.
Oh my God.
You are not under any obligation to carry yourself in any sort of way that others demand of you just because of the color of your skin. This, you need to do this and you need to do that because you benefit from privilege thing is bogus.
Thank you.
It is just a way for people harboring racial animus to attack you, to say that the accomplishments you've achieved in your life isn't yours, and to silence you. It is not you.
Good luck with that.
It is this ideology that is wrong and perverse. It is one cloaked in a shroud of pseudo-justice and self-righteousness, all the while excreting toxic fumes of racial hatred.
Thank you.
It blames all white people for the actions of their ancestors, something you have no control over, while absolving black people of personal responsibility for their own individual actions by holding that black people commit acts of harm for example, towards another community, that's a fault of white supremacy. White people are controlling them like puppets on a string. It's a backwards, transgressive ideology.
Very
if you don't harbor any hate
transgressive.
in your heart but want to fight it as a matter of principle, this does not make you racist or bigoted. If you refuse to accept their premise in your head, but are too afraid to voice your opinion, you're neither a coward nor a bad person. If you're of a liberal bent, but there's a small corner in your brain telling you as you're watching this video that perhaps some of this is wrong, listen to your intuition. Maybe you think, oh, I agree with most of what the progressive left teaches about racial justice, but just not with some of this disagreeable stuff, only at the extremes. I'm here to tell you that the rot starts at the core. This racial hatred of white people is a natural outgrowth, part and parcel of an ideology that attempts to indoctrinate us into believing that there is current systemic oppression going on, that all racial disparities we see today is the sole result of oppression by white people, when there are other more plausible explanations to be had that these same people are silencing as impermissible hate speech. They're telling you, shut up, you'll take it, and you'll like it.
No, I won't.
But contrary to what they're saying, you don't have to take that.
You don't.
You can believe that the things that have been done in the past were morally wrong, as well you should.
Yeah, of
All
course.
the while believing that what is currently going on is also wrong, that we're going backwards, that this is history rhyming with itself.
Yep.
The table is turning in an eye for an eye manner. As the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, an eye for an eye will leave the whole world blind. But those driven by hatred would sooner gouge everyone's eyes out than realize that true victory for people of color would have been having history record that when the power dynamics shifted, we treated white people with a kindness that their forefathers may not have shown our forefathers. But now, it will say when we gained the power, we turned around and started doing some of the same stuff to white people. Segregation, social ostracization,
Right here.
hatred sanctioned by government and law. And we're doing all of this while pretending like we're doing something valiant. We've missed our bus. But that doesn't mean that there can't be a course correction. So, to some people of color watching who are engaging in this sort of hatred, whether or not you're acutely aware, the same people that act like white people as a collective are not people, but rather some pernicious alien force that has come to invade the earth. With this video, I implore you to ask yourself, what are we doing to white people? As some people love to say, do better.
That's right. What a great video.
Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that this new year brings you love,
Great
joy,
video.
and light. 2022 was a really difficult year for me, but the difficult times were interspersed with times of happiness. Some of the happiest moments of my life, actually. So I'm grateful for 2022 and excited for 2023.
This poor kid, man. This video, even though it's been seen 4 million times, has clearly fallen on deaf ears. You know, there's a saying, take the cotton out of your ears and place it in your mouth for a reason. You know, do better. That is the best way to end that video. Do better. You know, it's really sad that people will constantly pass the buck. I'm going to blame everybody else for my shortcomings and my failures. Ew. Instead, how do you learn? Instead of doing that, blame yourself. Blame yourself and say, what could I have done differently to get the result that I want? I'm pretty sure that all of us have room for self-improvement, but we can't be blaming everybody else for our failures. It's so easy to do that, though. I've always said that, you guys. It's so simple to do that. BLM list of demands. Oh, my God. For whites. For white people. White people. Can you believe that chick? It's like she was trying to cough up a dollar stone, a tonsil stone. Sorry, I saw dollar signs. I was like, wait, what? Here's BLM, y'all. Support this cause by searching on Microsoft. Just by searching Microsoft, $456 donated. They're still accepting donations for BLM. I'm pretty sure we have determined that they are a racist organization, a sham, fraudulent. Black Lives Matter leader. Oh, look at that, Mr. Jordan Peterson. A Black Lives Matter leader from Louisville, Kentucky, is demanding that white people pay for their inherent sin of being white by adhering to a 10-point list of demands, which includes small gestures like giving up your home and leaving your property to a minority family when you die. Chanel Helm, the co-founder of BLM Louisville, penned the list of radical demands in Leo Weekly following the rally-turned-fatal riot in Charlottesville, Virginia last weekend. In the first 6 demands, Helm focuses on white people giving up their property and money to poor minorities, since white people are bound to make that money in some other white privileged way. Oh my. White people, if you don't have any descendants, will your property to a black or brown family, preferably one that lives in generational poverty. Hang on a second here. Well, how's come when you raised all that money on the backs of dead black people, BLM, you didn't donate it to those people that have generational poverty? How's come you did nothing to revamp the black neighborhoods or brown neighborhoods? You did nothing. You bought lavish mansions in predominantly white neighborhoods. Why you do that? No? Crickets? Very nice. All right, sorry, just had to call out the hypocrisy. All right, then. Here's some more demand, y'all. People, if you're inheriting property you intend to sell upon acceptance, give it to a black or brown family. You're bound to make that money in some other white privileged way. Sorry, forgot to do the Donald Duck impersonation. If you are a developer or realty owner of a multifamily housing, what the fuck is that? If you are a realty owner of a multifamily housing, you don't even make no sense. Build a sustainable complex in a black or brown by-lighted neighborhood and let the black and brown people live in it for free. Hello. Oh my God, where'd you find them?
In Matthew's room.
Give me a high five. You're awesome. Give me a low five. This side. Down low. Oh, you're too slow. Wonk, wonk. All right. Go upstairs with your brother for a second. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right, go up. I know I'm funny. You're funny looking. Go on now. Get upstairs. I don't want you to hear this stuff, okay? All right. If you can afford to downsize, give up the home you own to a brown family, preferably a family of generational poverty. Oh, hey, you got to get upstairs. I'm about to say a bad word. Go on now. Get upstairs. I love you. Go tickle your brother. Go on now. Go tickle him. I have to wait because I don't want to say these bad words in front of my kid, so he repeats them. I don't even like to talk about, color in front of my little ones because, my little one, my older one, he's good. He's not a racist jerk. Okay. White people, if any of the people you intend to leave your property are racist assholes, change the will. And you will your property to a black or brown family, preferably a family from generational poverty. White people, rebudget your monthly so you can donate to black funds for land purchasing. Then the racism dial somehow finds a way to get turned up an even higher level. Helm, while making several stereotypical offensive claims, urges white people to get racists fired. White people, especially white women, because this is y'all's specialty. Nosy Jenny or meddling Kathy, get a racist fired. Y'all know when the fucks they be saying. You are complicit when you ignore them. Get your boss fired because they racist too. Reads demand number 7. And it continues, this time with the mention of little dick white men. I'm sorry, but that's not always the case. But saying all white men have little dicks because they don't. I only had one ex that had a nice one. Everyone else was average. Just saying. All right. The LDE that y'all white men have. Can't even, dude. I can't even. 8. Backing up number 7. This should be easy. But all those sheetless Klan Nazis and other little dick white men will be returning to work. Get they ass fired. Call the police. Wait a minute. Call the police? You're the same people saying to defund the police, Black Lives Matter. Defund the police, but call the police? Get they ass fired. Get they ass fired. If they look suspicious. Demand number 9 encourages the use of violence when getting supposed racist fired. Emphasis added. Number 9. Okay, backing up number 8. If any at your work as or you or I can't even read her damn English. Or as you enter in spaces and you overhear a praising the actions from yesterday, first get a pic. Get their name and get their info. Hell, find out where they work. Get them fired. But certainly address them if you need to. You got hands. Use them. The fuck is she talking about? I'm pretty sure this is absolute craziness. All right, number 10. And finally, 10 implores white people to fight for white supremacy. Number 10, commit 2 things, fighting white supremacy and how you can. This doesn't mean taking up knitting unless you're making scarves for black and brown kids in need. That's all you can knit for. That's it. And funding black and brown people at their work. This is a brilliant plan by Helms. Everyone knows their best way to fight phantom racism is to engage in open racism yourself. I don't understand. So you're going to fight racism by being openly racist? I'm pretty sure that's fighting fire with fire. I'm pretty sure that you would want to extinguish a fire if you see it. Like, no, seriously, guys, so if you see somebody being openly racist and being derogatory towards people simply because of the color of their skin, I don't care what they look like, okay? Say something. Say something. It's wrong when it is geared towards the black or brown people or Asian. It's wrong when it's projected and directed at white people. Racism is wrong. Jesse Lee Peterson. I fucking love him. I do. I love Jesse Lee Peterson. If I could find the video, you guys, I will I'll play it for you. Jesse Lee Peterson on BLM. He was on the Young Turks on who was it? Rashad Ritchie's program. And Rashad Ritchie cut him off. Okay? Cut him off. Was like, I don't want you in my I don't want you in my on my show no more. The bullpen.
Welcome to the bullpen.
Welcome to the bullpen. All right, this is the Young Turks, right? And I have to like blur this video, you guys, because they 100% like absolutely will hit me with a copyright claim. I know they will, because if you're going against anything that they say, they don't like that. So I gotta transform this into a. Can you see through it? No. I have to transform this video. What he said about BLM, it made me die, almost die, fall out of my chair laughing. Oh boy. Ew. Bill Gates wants to feed you bugs, y'all, by the way. Fuck you. I ain't eating no bugs. Welcome to the bullpen. Racism. Sorry.
In the bullpen today, I have a conservative radio talk personality, TV host, extreme conservative, and he's proud of it. Pastor Jesse Lee Peterson, founder and president of Bond, B-O-N-D, and host of JLP Show and The Fallen State. Pastor Peterson, good day. Welcome to Indisputable.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Sir, you all have a celebration coming up next month. Are you not the founder of White History Month? I think which starts in July.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating our 4th year of White History Month in July. And the reason that we started it in July is because if you notice, July just feels white.
Yeah.
So, guys, it's White History Month. I had no idea that existed. Are we even allowed to say that? Are we allowed to have that? Whatever. Okay, then.
You know, it's summertime, vacation time, relaxing time, reflecting time, and appreciating the greatest country on this side of heaven.
Gotcha.
And so we are recognizing that and showing our appreciation for it.
I think it's important for people to know you're not a comedian. What you're saying, right? What you're saying, this is actually you. You do this. You're the founder of White History Month.
Yes.
You've also been very critical of Juneteenth. You have called it a fake holiday, but you want to make sure that everyone supports White History Month.
Absolutely.
I do want to have a policy discussion with you about the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act.
Uh-oh. Now, if any of y'all know who Jesse Lee Peterson is, he don't give one F. Doesn't have any to give. Like his fucks jar is empty. Okay. So if you get easily triggered and offended, he's probably not the right person for you. But if you've been born with thick skin, such as myself, feel free to listen. What he's about to say about George Floyd is the undisputable truth. Sorry, not sorry. Don't eat fentanyl and meth. Enough to kill a whole ass bus full of children. Thank you for the Jesse contest. Schmeagol, thank you. Thank you, Megan.
I'm going to attempt to have that policy discussion with you. Do you agree or disagree with the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act?
I totally disagree because, as we all know, George Floyd was a black, unemployed drug addict with a criminal record. And I just
think let's first of all, let's clear something up, sir.
Yes, let's. Because when the woman was just let go after telling her 14-year-old child to shoot a man who was punching her in the head, and I agree, like, don't hit women. You guys, I've said this, I'm not a proponent for men hitting women. I don't like it. I was a victim of domestic violence myself, and I don't like that. It's wrong. But they let her go, and her son, after killing this man, shooting 2 people in the process, but one is dead, they, of course, brought up his criminal past and how he was a felon and all this, that, and the other. But does his past give him, that's the green light to kill this man? Yeah, I understand he was punching her, but still. So you mean to tell me we could bring up his felony history, but not George Floyd's? Because why? You see where there's a major hypocrisy here? Because it was black on black crime, we don't need to feel bad for this this dude who's now dead because it was black on black crime. But George Floyd, we don't matter if he held a knife to the stomach of a pregnant woman and robbed her. Don't matter if he was selling drugs to kids. It doesn't matter because he's been labeled a martyr. Just want to get that out of the way so you can see the hypocrisy here.
You really should be ashamed of yourself. You call yourself a Christian pastor. George Floyd is dead.
It's his fault.
He's dead because a cop killed him.
It's his fault.
Christian pastor. George Floyd is dead.
It's his fault.
He's dead because a cop killed him.
No, now, he's dead because he was a drug addict.
My question to you, and that's adverse to the evidence, by the way, what you just said.
That's wrong. That's wrong because the first autopsy said he died of acute multiple drug toxicity. There was no abrasions, no nothing, no injuries, no petechial hemorrhaging to the windpipe. He died of a drug overdose. The narrative is, well, he was choked to death. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. The first autopsy was erased from the whole Chauvin trial. That cop is sitting in prison for nothing because of somebody who overdosed. Okay? That's what really happened here.
My question to you was about policy. So let me ask you, what in the policy of the George Floyd Policing Act do you disagree with?
The whole idea.
Which really part of the policy?
Everything.
Jesse.
Blaming the cops and no responsibility
Jesse,
for the
I'm
blacks.
asking you, what part of the policy is written? You can find it at congress.gov. What part of the policy, sir, do you disagree with? This is a simple question.
I disagree with the whole idea of a policy.
You haven't read the policy.
You know, I'm sorry, but if somebody's having a healthy debate with you, just because you don't like what they're saying, it doesn't give you the right to cut them off, to accuse them of not reading the policy. If he doesn't agree with the entire policy, he doesn't agree with the entire policy. Rashad Ritchie, you're a radicalized leftist. I think that you absolutely knew that you were going to not allow Jesse Lee Peterson to speak. You automatically jumped on him for being a Christian pastor. And you knew that this was going to push his buttons. He doesn't agree with any of it. Okay? It's pretty simple.
You haven't even read the damn policy. Come on,
I don't
Jesse.
need to read it. I don't need to read it to know the truth, because what I've noticed is that black people today, due to their lack of love, their lack of believing in God, they love evil more than they love good, right?
So that's the reason why you don't read.
And so
that's the reason why you don't read.
Right, because it was written by no good black people. And why should I waste my time knowing what they're about? Black folks today, and not all, but most, have no sense of direction. They're blaming everybody but themselves. And until they take responsibility for their own lives, they are not going to get better. The real truth is,
let me ask
George
you, sir,
Floyd is dead because of George Floyd and no one else.
That's a ridiculous point. But do you blame yourself for not reading the policy?
Why would he blame himself? He ate drugs. He had so much fentanyl in him and meth that what really is sad, you guys, is that anybody would have that victimhood mentality. Anybody would want to blame somebody else for their failures. That is really a sad state of existence. And I don't wish that on anybody. Every child deserves to be loved. Every child deserves a loving parent to guide them, to teach them right from wrong. I feel bad for anybody who thinks like Dr. Rashad Ritchie. I really do.
Or you blame somebody else?
Why should I read the policy when I already know the people? You
don't even know what's in the policy, do you?
I don't need to know, don't want to know. I know the people who are writing it, they're no good.
Okay, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show.
What a dick. How are you gonna... Look, man, if you and I don't agree on things, I'm gonna like to just talk with you, maybe, just maybe, hear you out, and maybe you can bring up some good talking points to where, hey, you know what? You're right. I was wrong about that. Cool. All right, thank you for changing my mind on that. But in no way, shape, or form would I ever, if we don't agree on something, I'm not gonna ostracize you and be like, this is a whole waste of my time. Why would you even talk like that to a guest? How he books anybody on his show from here on out is going to be absolute how. The comments here, damn. You should see how many people are in here for Jesse Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson, it's all of the comments on Dr. Rashid Ritchie's channel here. Ain't in favor of him. It's in favor of Pastor Jesse Lee Peterson. How dare you treat a guest like that? All right, you guys, here it is. We're getting into crazy.
I know the people who are writing it, they are no good.
Okay, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
you
Black
don't know
Lives
that.
Matter?
You may learn something.
We'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have a good
God.
man. Get this clown off my show. I appreciate you.
Who
Thank you for
hate
being
God, who hate the nuclear family.
Yeah. Listen.
I just want to play that one more time. Here's the most replayed. Let me show you guys this for a second. This is the most replayed moment out of the entire video. What do you think about Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matter. Oh my. He did not hold back. He didn't hold back at all. And that is why I am 100% in support of Pastor Jesse Lee Peterson. He is a beast. Oh my God. Rashad Ritchie's face, he turned red. He looked like he was going to blow up.
Probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
You
Black
don't know
Lives
that.
Matter?
You may learn something.
We'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with?
Oh boy. Oh my God. Have you ever listened to a video and you're like, I can't believe he just said that. But a lot of, you know what? He's saying what a lot of people are thinking. He's not afraid to say what all of us are thinking. Marxism, destruction of the family, the nuclear family, anti-Christian rhetoric, open racism, taking all of that money and enriching yourself. They deserve this, every bit of it.
Fundamentally.
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have a good
God.
man. Get this clown off my show. I appreciate you.
Who
Thank you for
hate
being
God, who hate the nuclear family.
Yeah. Listen, for those of you who wanted me to continue to engage that clown on this show, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. I'm only a human being.
No, you ain't. And Jesse Lee Peterson in the background is laughing hysterically because who's the clown now? Who is the clown now, Dr. Rashad Ritchie? You are. You're the clown because you didn't want to let that man talk. Who's the oppressor now? You are. You're the oppressor. One more time. Because it is the most replayed moment in the video, and I think it's 100% true. Truth hurts.
Founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have
God.
a good man. Get this clown off my show. I appreciate you.
Who
Thank you
hate
for being
God, who hate the nuclear family.
Yeah. Listen, for those of you who wanted me to continue to engage that clown on this show, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. I'm only a human being. So please forgive me, okay? All right, here's what we'll do for the rest of the show. I will read some comments, and I know some of you will say, oh, Rashad, that was just so rude, and yeah, it was. I couldn't take any more of that foolishness. He's not going to make a debate in good faith, even if you oppose whatever I believe on the most extreme policy side, at least you have a policy argument. I can engage in a good faith debate about ideas.
You couldn't though, because you knew before you even had him on this show. You've done your research, Rashad. You've done your research. You know exactly how he feels about George Floyd. You know exactly how he feels about the fat black radical lesbians that Black Lives Matter was founded on. You knew this. So then, I'm going to attack you because you didn't read the policy. He's allowed to have his own opinions. He's entitled to his own opinions, and you are a big, oppressive, radicalized liberal baby, and you can't handle it. So yeah, took him off your show. And who had the last laugh? We did. And Jesse Lee Peterson had the last laugh because look at just because he didn't agree with you, you shut him out completely. And that is all of the time I will ever give this clown on my channel. because that's what you are, Dr. Rashad Ritchie. I hope you see this. I hope you know that you're the clown attacking him on a policy. You don't have to read it. You guys, what do you guys feel about Dr. Rashad Ritchie? I feel the same damn way. He's a clown. He's a radicalized clown. The BLM organization, one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, was The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. And I think we should react to that, because I did ask the Daily Wire if I could, and they were like, go right ahead. But the only problem here is that I don't think we could show it here. I think we have to do it on Rumble. And I've never gone live from Rumble except like one little short intro video of, hi, I'm new here. Which is a damn shame that I would even have to censor myself. Because so many people today are being censored, but it's not the liberals that are censored, it's the conservatives. Matt Walsh, blacklisted on YouTube. Steven Crowder. So many people being demonetized because they don't agree with the radicalized left. They don't agree to push the narrative. They don't agree to push the agendas. Sorry, but I can't roll with that. I have conservative morals and conservative values. It is what it is. I've embraced that. And I will never apologize. And you guys, again, I was done very dirty by people in my own demographic. I was done remarkably dirty, but I am not going to hate everybody that looks like me because of the actions of a couple. I think it's wrong. I think it's pointless. And, you should always judge people based off their character, and how they've treated you, yes, determines how you treat them in return. Somebody's nice to me, that's all you're going to get back. If they're going out of their way to deliberately hurt me, well, you're not going to like the outcome. But I think so many times people have expected and saw that you could treat people any which way that you want to, and they have to accept that. No, they don't. All right, you guys. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Happy White History Month. I would like to see it where we're not focused on white, black, Hispanic, Asian. Who cares? We should be judging somebody based off of how they treat one another, not because of how they look. Nobody had any control over that. And so one day we will get to that place where people have had enough. Like, why are we fighting over this when nobody had any control over it? Nobody had any control over the past either. We can't fix something that somebody else did, nor should we want to. Doesn't make a difference in my fucking life. It doesn't. Do I see how horrific our past here in America was? Yeah, but if we don't live and learn from that, again, history shall repeat itself. I don't focus on slavery that happened 150 years ago. I focus on the slavery that exists today. The children, the women, the boys that are bought and sold into human trafficking. That is what we need to focus on. While we're too busy fighting over something that nobody had any control over, whether it be race or the past of slavery, of course, let's be completely distracted over here so we can't fix what's really going on over here. Ridiculous. And I won't play a part in it. Thank you, Kirk. All right, y'all. I will probably be live tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. I hope you all have a safe and if I'm not, I hope you guys have a safe and happy, healthy 4th of July. Be present with your families, right? Have a good time. Make sure you are grateful for our freedoms. And if you see something You guys say something. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I know the radical left has literally made it impossible for people to speak out against anything that goes against their agenda. Almost. Almost don't count. Okay? Don't be afraid to be silenced. Don't be afraid to speak your voice, because that is one of the biggest weapons that you have. So simple, yet so far away. All right, you guys, thank you again. I appreciate you guys joining me. Again, enjoy your holiday with your family. And I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. I did, man. It was fun. It was a fun live stream. I thank you guys. Thank you again. I love you all. All of you, what did she call us? Cum goblins? Cum goblins? Love you, cum goblins. Ew, barf. Love you guys. Happy 4th.